I am truly grateful for the opportunity given to me here tonight by my colleagues. And I thank you for the opportunity to serve on this council and to serve the city on a new level. We have a lot of work to do. I'm going to be thinking forward. We had an opportunity to hear from the mayor, the outgoing mayor, a look back and some casting forward, but I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit more about what we have ahead for us. We've got some strong goals. We still have the Concord Naval Weapons Station to continue to push forward, which translates to jobs and housing. We have to continue to implement the strategies for addressing the needs of those who are unhoused. We've started implementing those strategies, and I feel very positive that we're moving in the right direction with that. We will also begin the search for a new city manager. Thankfully, the city manager, Baroni, has given us a long runway, long enough to do that, to find the appropriate person and transition with new leadership here in the city. Like every city here in California, we are also facing the impacts of a housing crisis. We feel it when our adult children say it's too expensive to live here. And I want to thank my son for being here from Colorado, because that's where he decided to settle. Where did he go? Oh, he's taking and I think it's essential that we do this because we do need to find housing that is suitable for people at all income levels and a diverse housing stock in our city. We do have a newly adopted economic development strategic plan, which we adopted last week in a very fun meeting. We got to hear the work that had been done in a committee, and so we're moving forward with that. And we are laying out a roadmap for stronger, more resilient local economy, one that supports our local businesses, welcomes innovation, and helps organizations of all kinds thrive here in Concord. We are still, believe it or not, recovering from the pandemic. Remote work has changed a lot of the commute patterns, and it also has changed the use of our office buildings, which has impacted a lot of the local businesses. These shifts have reshaped how communities generate revenue and stay financially strong. And the strategic plan aims to help us meet this moment with intention and creativity so we can continue to provide services for our residents and services that our residents depend on. And very importantly, I need to mention that we will be strongly focusing on our city finances. This is not a glamorous part of what I have to say tonight, but it is something that we are all willing to roll up our sleeves with. Over the last decade, the City Council has guided the organization to establish fiscal stability. It's taken a lot of work to get where we're at right now. And this has required a lot of sacrifices. Since the Great Recession, the Council has downsized the workforce by 20%, streamlined operations, and the voters passed Measure V, a local sales tax measure to support essential city services and infrastructure investment. Even with these efforts, the city is operating in a structural deficit, and the adopted biennial budget, I told you this was not going to be very glamorous, right? So the adopted biennial budget requires the strategic use of $2.5 million in reserves for the coming year, as well as for $2.8 million for fiscal year 26-27, just to stay balanced. The reality is that ongoing revenues are not keeping pace with ongoing costs. And while this council will successfully maintain reserve levels well above the city's minimum threshold of 17%, continued use of reserves is not sustainable. So we need to work hard to boost our revenue and maintain that threshold of our reserves. Despite careful budgeting, the city's major revenues are growing too slowly to cover service demands and cost increases. The economic changes in how and where people work and shop have resulted in a flat sales tax. Keep this in mind when you're shopping for Christmas. Think local, shop Concord. Right?
Yes.
The city also has a significant infrastructure funding deficit. To maintain roads, parks, medians, and buildings, the city needs to invest over $24 million more annually. This is $24 million more every year than it currently has available to ensure Concord's long-term fiscal health for both operations and infrastructure investment. We're going to need more than short-term fixes. And the council's already begun to do this work. Let me just tell you a couple things that we're already doing. We've incorporated $6.4 million in budget cuts, reallocations, and anticipated expenditure savings into the adopted budget, making this year's and next year's operating budgets very tight. We've adopted a new economic development plan to foster economic growth within the city, and this is thanks to many community members, many businesses, many stakeholders who really dug in over the last 6 months, maybe longer. It was maybe, okay, 8 months, to really make sure that the strategic plan for this city, our city of Concord, was right-sized for what we need. We've created a new residential roadway maintenance team that will start in July to increase the amount of residential roadway maintenance performed annually, and this will help over the long term. And we've set the development of an infrastructure investment plan as a Council 1 tier priority for the fiscal year. The Infrastructure and Finance Committee has been actively working on this plan, and I thank them for all the work they've been doing, and I hope that they will continue that. And they will be presenting it to the full council early in the next year. All this to say, the city is not alone facing these financial challenges. We will need the city to engage and to support us in these challenges ahead. Concord is in a much better situation than many other cities, but that doesn't minimize the need that we have to dig in and do the hard work. As your incoming mayor, and thank you, colleagues, for your trust in me, my commitment is to work with my council colleagues, the workforce, and the community to ensure Concord continues to stay focused on and to make progress towards solving these financial challenges. I know that was a lot, but it's important for me that we all hear what's ahead of us. Okay, so here's the good part. We all know that we're a city that rolls up their sleeves. And I want to recognize that there are so many things in our city that we have to focus on and to celebrate. Along the wall over here, it's amazing to see our high school students from Ignatia Valley High School joining us tonight. These are mostly the Team 212 so this is the robotics team. They're doing amazing work. We heard earlier last year about the other work that's being done with the robotics teams at Clayton Valley and Mount Diablo, and they're just amazing students who are engaged. They show up when we need trees planted and sedges planted, and they're just an amazing group of youth. And that is why we need to do the hard work of taking care of this city, because we have future generations that we need to look forward, take care of, and for them. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I also want to lift up other organizations that are just really instrumental in taking care of our community, like Monument Crisis Center and White Pony Express, and organizations like the Loaves and Fishes of Contra Costa. Recently at the, I think I'm letting the cat out of the bag here, but tomorrow night we will be celebrating at Diablo Valley Credit Union. That was the main organizer that hosted the Turkey Trot, with a check going to the Loaves and Fishes organization for $42,500. And that was a record breaker. Wow. Yes, that is worth some jazz hands. We have amazing people in this community who show up and care about our environment and our open spaces, and I want to celebrate them as well, because I know going forward, the Friends of Concord Creeks and the Friends of Lime Ridge who help clean our creeks and plant sedges and plant trees in our open space with the help of our scout troop, 444. They were here earlier tonight, and with the help of the Kiwanis Key Club, and also with the Rotary Interact Clubs. There are so many more people who get engaged when it's time to clean the streets, plant the trees. They just show up. I also want to mention the Devil Mountain Disc Golf Club. They recently had to roll up their sleeves over at Hillcrest, and that was to clean up some graffiti that had been done over there. And they didn't take the time to report it to the city and wait for government to do it. They just did it themselves. There's a pride over there at Hillcrest Community Park with the disc golf course that is over there. That's a 9-hole. If anyone's ever been there, it's a beautiful course and really well visited and played. I also want to lift up our community celebrations that we have. Juneteenth, 4th of July, Concord Pride, the Ebo Union Festivals, Singer-Songwriter Sundays by some of our local musicians. All of these amazing events happen in our living room, Todos Santos, and are well attended, and they are part of the vibrant community that we have here in Concord. So this coming year, I want us to all lift up our youth and our community and dig in and support us here on the council, because we've got some work to do, but we also have a lot of good things to celebrate, and I am happy to be serving in this role. Thank you. I also forgot to thank a couple really important people. I was getting long-winded here. I want to thank staff for their work. Staff, your fingerprints are on everything that the council policies have to do with, and the work behind the scenes that many of the people in the community don't see. And I want to thank my family, my family who is here tonight supporting me. Without you, this would not be possible for me. I know that I have support at home, and it is great to have you here tonight. And it's not just here tonight, it is every day of the year that I know you are supporting me, and it means a great deal to me. Thank you.